My name is David Cage. I'm writer and director at Quantic Dream.
So, David, what are you doing here at Comic-Con?
I'm here for a panel with some of our talents from our past games, Heavy Rain and Detroit. And it's a real pleasure to be here because it's really an opportunity to meet fans and share some time with them. So it's always a pleasure to come.
So talk a little about your games you've worked on, because they're very films. They're almost films in a way, but they're also games.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we worked for 20 years on creating these strange experiences that are story-driven. But it's not the type of story that you just watch passively. It's really you tell your own story through your decisions, your actions, through gameplay directly. So I really wanted to create story-driven experiences where the story is not told through cutscenes, but through your actions.
You mentioned in your panel that it's the truest form of acting when you're in a mocap suit in a green room, not even necessarily in a green room, just with sensors and there's nothing there. What are some of the challenges when giving your actors direction and reactions to the cues and the writing you've done?
I think it's a very specific job to be a director in motion capture because you direct actors who have nothing around them. There's no set, there's no costume, there's no camera, no lighting, no makeup, nothing. It's just pure acting. So my role as a director is to try to explain what's going on, tell them, look, there's a wall, there's a window, you should look here. Tell them what happens also, because we shoot in stories that are non-linear, which means that there are many branches, different possibilities. So I try to be as clear as possible with the actors, which is always a challenge, but try to tell them where they are and what's going on so they can deliver the best performance.
What are some of the key differences in doing one of your games like Detroit as opposed to like a traditional feature film?
The main difference is interactivity. I mean, for example, we create games where there are different branches, different paths in the story, where the characters can say different things, and it's the player deciding what he wants to see happening. So the challenge with the actors and as a director is to shoot all these possibilities and being credible whatever you have to say. So you may have a line where you're very happy, one where you're very sad, one where you're neutral, and you want to be true in all cases with the right emotion. So that's one of the many challenges, mainly for actors.
You get to see the statistics and see what everyone picks usually, and how do you feel when you see that? Are you surprised? Are you like, oh, or that makes sense, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, on Detroit we implemented a technology called telemetry, where we know in real time what players are doing, zip code by zip code basically. So everywhere in the world we know in each city what choices were made by different players. We don't have the names of course, but we just have the stats, we just have the numbers. So that's very interesting. It's always very surprising also to see the cultural differences based on different regions or different countries. People don't react the same way to especially to moral dilemmas. So it just shows culturally that values are different from one country to another.
Do you think we'll actually get to the point of your game in Detroit Become Human eventually in our culture or in our history on our time on this earth?
I think that it's going to happen for sure. I mean, that's a personal belief. I think that artificial intelligence is going to keep evolving, and there will be massive computers this year that will start to compete. We're just at the beginning. It's not a human brain yet, but it's the first step this year that some computers will make in different countries in the world to start to approach the power of human brains. So I think that there will be a point in the near future where there will be machines that are as intelligent as we are, but they will learn much faster, they will never sleep, and they will have an infinite memory, and they will all be connected. So the real question is, if you have a bigger brain, will you have consciousness emerging from this, or is consciousness still something else that doesn't depend on your horsepower, on the power of your brain? That's a major question.
So your game is about to come to another platform where more people can experience. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we released Heavy Rain, and we are going to release on July 12th Beyond Two Souls. And before the end of the year, we're going to release Detroit Become Human on PC. We spent more than a year working on this games. We didn't want just to have a straight port from PlayStation to PC. We really wanted to rework the game, rework the interface, and make sure that it's going to work even on low specs on PC, and also with a keyboard and a mouse, and really create a real PC version of these games to give a real experience to PC gamers.